This is Indio Radio. You're listening to That MMA Show.
What's up, everybody? This is Jeremy with Full Contact Fighter TV and That MMA Show on Indio Radio. I'm here with the man, Jesse Finney. Jesse, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. Looking forward to December 7th and a huge 2014.
I tell you what, it has been one heck of a year for Shamrock FC. Talk us a little bit through all of the events that went down and the big event on December 7th.
Well, we ventured into Kansas City in 2013, and we've done, we're doing the Lumiere Casino, and we're doing River City Casino. We got the June 2014 or 13 at River City was an awesome event. It was our 15-year anniversary show, which is extremely rewarding the way it shook out. And now we got December 7th back at River City, which will be, I think it's probably going to be a better show than the June show.
Now, that's a little hard to believe. I was at that show, and it was just one of the absolute best I've seen regionally. So what do you think is going to bring that and make it different?
Man, you always got to do better than the next, right? I mean, we've got some tricks up our sleeve. I mean, we'll see what happens, but at the end of the day, it's going to be about what fighters actually come out and prepare and do the right job, and it's going to be in their hands. But at the same time, we've got some tricks up our sleeve to keep everyone on their toes.
So then now, with this event coming up, talk a little bit about some of the fighters, what's going to be going down, who's on the card, pro and amateur both, all of that.
Well, I can't actually let all the tricks out of the bag here right yet, but I know. We've got
every time, Jeff.
I know we've got Kenny Porter's fighting on the show. We've got some Scott Fertrell and Jake Bueller. We're adding some more pros. We're still actually putting the card together, but I think that it's going to be an exciting show, and I think that also it just proves that the brand is really doing really well, because I can sit here and tell you we have 15 fights put together, which we're going to release probably next week. And I can also tell you that as we're standing here right now, we just put on standing room only tickets because people have already bought the show, and it's not just about it with Shamrock FC. It's not just about the exact same fighter that's going to be fighting. It's also about the experience. And you know what? There's one thing that people can say in the St. Louis metropolitan area or the Kansas City area is whenever we put on a show, it's not just about, the fighters just in the cage. It's also about the experience. From the weigh-ins to also to the weigh-in to the after-fight party, it's about the experience. I say this all the time. Listen, when you're going to a Shamrock show, the Shamrock FC, that you're going to go see some good fights. But you're also going to say you're going to be entertained. This is something you can bring your family to, your wife, and make it a date night. The app, it's not just a place where you're just going to have some fights and some lights on, and it's about the experience of it's a whole event and make an evening of it.
So then let's talk about that a little bit, because it's always brought up, and we see it on Facebook and everything for the Midwestern region, St. Louis, Kansas City, all the way across both states, that the region is dying in mixed martial arts because people can't sell the shows. But every time I've been to a Shamrock show, it's a sellout weeks in advance. The experience is much bigger. What makes Shamrock different?
I think there's a lot that makes a difference, and I keep hearing that from I hear that from people across the Midwest. That the shows they're having trouble with the tickets, and I don't hear that all the time. I mean, I keep people say, "Oh, well, this person's saying that they're struggling. They're struggling." You know what? We don't run this as a day-to-day. This is as a hobby. We run this on a day-to-day operation. We got payroll going on. We have employees. It's just not just a hobby. We've been doing this for 15 plus years. It'll be 16 years in June. So we've been around and we've been doing this, and we run it as a business. It is a business, and every decision we make is a business decision. You can't make emotional decisions, and I've been the first to tell you that I've made a lot of emotional decisions and have been wrong about it. And I think you just got to learn from your mistakes, man, and you just got to keep pushing forward. We're not going to tell you that we're going to have a show and we're not going to cancel it, okay? We're not going to have a show and then say, oh, well, this person's fighting, and then, hey, there's going to be changes on fight cards. We all know that. And I think that when you know that you're going to come to a Shamrock FC show, you're going to get a great show, and you and your wife are going to have a good time. And you and whoever you're going to bring, you're proud to bring that person to a show. And it's going to be quite the experience, because it's not just about the fight in the cage. It's also about everything else outside the cage. And you're going to go and you're going to have a great after party. You're going to go and you're going to have some good food. You're going to be safe. You're not going to have a race riot. I'm just being honest here. That it's not going to be, you're not drinking out of the draft beer cup. Okay, you're going to come and you're going to, guess what? The old saying says, hey man, you're going to get what you pay for. Yes, our tickets are expensive. Yes, we are completely sold out of the most expensive tickets. But you're also going to get a great show, and it's not a shit show, okay? It's not going to be a bunch of, it's a quality show. It's a quality show. We've been doing it for a long time, and we've got a great staff behind us.
So then with the December 7th card coming up pretty quick, we know that there's going to be both pros and amateurs. I'm hearing, Susie Wyatt is out there as a big amateur on that fight. Becky Gullett coming in as her first pro fight.
Why are you letting the whole cat out of the bag?
I've only let out 2 because that's the only 2 that I know. So are there any others that you would think would be the big ones that are coming up? And I'm not saying let anything out of the bag. Just kind of let us know what you think is going to be the top out there.
Those are some of the bigger names out there right now. The girls with Becky Gullett. Becky Gullett's one of the best strikers in the country for mixed martial arts. I said the country, yes. And I'll tell you something. She's going to be making her pro debut on the pro side. We're going to have 15 fights. And we're going to have 15 fights, and I can tell you this, you're going to be stacked from the top to the bottom. It's going to – guess what? Our show's going to start at 7:30. Like we say, 7:30 on the ticket. It's going to start at 7:30. Not like some of these clowns out here. They're going to go and it's going to start at 8 o'clock. South Broad Athletic Club is down there in South City. That's the epitome of the scumbags. Okay, and let's call it how it is. You know what? Do you want to bring your wife to something like that? Do you want to bring your kids to something like that? Come to our show, enjoy it, and see, and go check out. And I say this to people all the time. Hey, man, go check out other shows. Because I think if you've only been to our shows or you've only been to some other quality shows out there, and there's some quality shows out there, okay, if you're going to do it right. But I say go check out the competition, and I don't know if it's competition, but just to say, you know what, you can been to other shows, now you can appreciate it.
Jesse, that's what I love about you. You never mix words.
I don't mix words, man. I don't. And I say this to people all the time. I don't mind people doing shows. I think it's actually great that there are other shows out there to work into other shows. But I also say this, if you're going to do it right. Okay? Because guess what? You're going to bring your wife for the first time. Let's say your wife that's never been to an MMA show, and she goes and watches that shit down at South Broad Athletic Club. She'll never want to go again. Okay? It's what it is. You're going to come to our event, or you're going to come to a first-class promotion. She's going to love mixed martial arts, and that's what's in her head. That's what's in her head. That's what the friends you bring, and it's their first MMA show, and they see that shit down there, or then they come and watch River City or Lumiere, or soon to be another casino, or come to our shows in Kansas City. You're going to realize that it's actually quality, and this is places you can bring your wife. You're not worried about your wife getting your hand stuck up her dress. Okay, I mean it's what it is, man, and that's it. I mean, keep pushing forward, and let's just keep rolling in 2014. And I tell you, we've got some big news coming up probably in the next 30 days that we're going to release about 2014.
Well, so then let's talk about 2014. You have your hand in everything. I mean, you have radio, you have Shamrock FC, you have the gyms. What's next for Jesse Finney in 2014?
Retirement.
No way.
No, I'm lying.
I figured as such, but I was so hoping for a scoop.
There's a lot going for 2014, man. We're hoping to branch out into 4 different cities, up to 5. Okay, with Shamrock FC, building a brand and building. We've been told that people want to go into check out some bigger venues. Okay, and we're going to continue to be at the Lumiere Casino. We're going to continue to be at River City Casino. We're going to continue to be at some shows in Kansas City. We're going to reach in the Chicago area, reaching out in the Indiana area. We're going to continue to keep this brand rolling and look for bigger and better things. And, we expect to have a TV deal. We've had some offers with TV, and it just hasn't been the right one. And we have some things that we hopefully put some finishing touches on here pretty soon. So just keep doing everything we're doing. And if we're going to do something, do it right. If you're going to have the gyms, keep the gyms clean. Don't let pit bulls run on your mats where there's fungus on their feet. Let's call it how it is. Okay. If you're gonna do it right. And if we're gonna do something, we're gonna do it properly.
All right, guys. Jesse Finney, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.